Let's switch to a non-newsy topic here. We talk quite often about biotech stocks that we like. Let's go the other direction, though, Brian. If you had to pick the three most overvalued biotech stocks on the market right now, which ones would you choose?
Yeah, so I don't know. Value is in the eye of the beholder, and obviously there are people buying at the current valuation. So obviously there are people, with whatever, the three stocks I'm going to mention. There are people who think that the value is perfectly acceptable right now because they're buying at that level. But the three I would go with was Moderna. The market cap's around 175 billion. It trades at about 8.6 times 2021 potential sales of $20 billion. That's not bad if it was growing, but we'll just have to wait and see how long we'll need the boosters, and then how much competition the company gets. And so I don't know. We'll have to. I just feel like 175 billion dollars for 20 billion in sales is a little outrageous. So that's mostly a valuation play. Um, Beam Therapeutics is another company I have a bit of a valuation issue with. It's used, I mean, I like the company, I like the technology. It's using CRISPR to make single base changes in its genome, but it's valued around $6.6 billion. But it hasn't even started a clinical trial yet. So $6.6 billion for an promising but unproven technology seems like it's a little high. I'm not going to say it won't go up from here, but it's certainly worth, and it's certainly worth much more if it can prove the technology works. But I'm not sure that the upside really justifies the unknown risks. I mean, if you look at something like CRISPR Therapeutics, its market cap is $8.9 billion dollars, and Intellia is $11.3 billion dollars, and they at least have clinical trial data that have shown that they're at least proof of concept data to show that their drugs work. Where Beam Therapeutics is at 6.6 billion, but hasn't actually proven in the clinic that they can show that their drug works. And then the third one I would say is CureVac. Ticker there is CVAC. Its market cap is $11.3 billion. It has an mRNA COVID-19 drug, but it just doesn't a vaccine, but it doesn't seem like it's actually working. The efficacy was only about 47%, compared to maybe 90, in the 90% range for Moderna and Pfizer's mRNA vaccines. The company highlighted the increased in variance that when the phase 3 clinical trial was run, so they ran their clinical trial much later than Moderna and Pfizer, and so they think that might be the reason for the lower efficacy. But I think the bigger issue might just be that the dose wasn't high enough. They tested a higher dose in phase 1, but the side effects were, sort of too strong, and so they decided to go with a lower dose, and that lower dose doesn't really create the same level of antibodies as Moderna's and Pfizer and BioNTech's, and so I think that's probably the bigger issue and the reason why the drug doesn't work, and then the vaccine doesn't work, and then if that vaccine doesn't work at the lower dose and the higher dose has too high of side effects, then that could mean that their whole pipeline of mRNA, and they use a different mRNA technology compared to Moderna and BioNTech's. So I'm a little worried that their whole technology doesn't work. And if that's the reason, then, it's hard to justify the $11.3 billion, on their pipeline if their pipeline isn't going to work because their technology doesn't work.